Hello. So, there's a few things I want to address. The first thing is my hair. I usually keep it messy because it's gonna do what it's gonna do anyway. But this is like a whole new level. Like, I just got out of the shower and this shit is just. This is why I have to make it look as messy on purpose because this is what it looks like normally. It's kind of tragic. The second thing. What is the second thing? I don't know. There was something else I was gonna say. It's not coming to me. Maybe it'll come to me as we go on. So, oh, the other thing. See, it came to me. So, if you pay attention to this channel, you know that I've been MIA. I've been missing a lot of streams. There's a few reasons for that. One, it's National Novel Writing Month, and I write a novel in 30 days. I actually finished my novel in 14 days. So you should theoretically see more streams from me at a more normal pace like before. Um, but on that same token, I have a lot of change, tumultuous change happening. And so my mood is going up and down, up and down, up and down. Um, that may sound normal to some people, but I'm bipolar, so up and down is kind of it's difficult on my psyche. Um, so that being said, it is Casual Friday, and we actually haven't had one since it was Topic Tuesday, and that was a really long time ago. I don't even know what was the last topic. It was I don't even know. It's literally been that long. Okay. Which, by the way, if you are curious what the topics were at any point in time, we do upload them to our YouTube, which is located in the corner. If you're interested, just search it in the search bar and it will be the first thing that comes up. So it used to be called Topic Tuesday, now it's Casual Friday. Holla, wearing our Hawaiian shirts and whatnot. So let's get to the meat of what we're here for today. And I've been putting off this topic a little bit because there's a lot that goes into my opinions, and I wanted to do the research involved to see the arguments for the other side because there's always another side. If you can believe it, there are people out there making YouTube videos about why elitism in gaming is a good thing. And I watched a few of them. So, I wrote out a pretty lengthy list of things that I wanted to hit on today. I tried to put it in an order that would make sense, but I fear that it may come off a little disjointed. But that's okay, because it's Casual Friday. I'm not leading a big, expensive discourse, okay? So we are just going to have a casual chat about elitism in gaming, and I'm going to try my best to be as impartial as I can. But this is a topic that I have strong opinions about, and it is also a topic that has been requested. So here we are. One thing I want to say before we dig into the meat of this, I think I just said that, but this is the last thing, I swear. If you have opinions or you want to chime in, let's do that. Let's have a good discussion as long as we keep it not toxic. Let's not negate the whole point of this this chat that we're having because it defeats the entire purpose. So let's talk constructively. If you had your own experiences, feel free to share them. And now, 4 minutes of me just talking about random shit later, we are finally going to talk about elitism in gaming. So I'm going to start with, this is a very simple story, but I'm going to start with it. So I've wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons for years. Like, years, and I was always very intimidated by it because I don't care who you are. Role playing is intimidating first time. I don't care who you are. It just is. So I was always kind of nervous about it, but my interest in it began to grow and grow and grow as I got older. And there was two groups that I knew of. And each time I would ask one of my friends who was involved with either one if I could join them, the answer was always no, they weren't taking new people, or no, they didn't want to teach somebody. And that's very frustrating, because playing D&D for the first time with complete strangers is not a very conducive um, way to learn anyway. I mean, like, it is a way to learn, sure. Um, but if you're anything like me, that's terrifying. You're brand new at something and you're about to hang out with strangers who probably know a lot more than you do. Like, that's very intimidating. It would be much more fun to play with your friends, which, ironically, is the core reason that Rebel role players exist today. Is because me and my friend Chelsea were tired of waiting for somebody to teach us, so we taught ourselves. We made our own group, and now we've been playing, or at least we started studying in January of 2018, so it's almost been a year. It's been 11 months since our tabletop role playing game experience has started and blossomed. Because as you know, we play other games now, and now we have this channel. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing in a year. But the point is that those people that wouldn't let me play with them, they're assholes. That's what I'm gonna say. That is, whether they realize it or not, is elitism. Like, I don't want to deal with a new person. Like, I'm too good for that. That is elitism. Um, and I don't want to give anybody who's watching this the impression that this is related just towards tabletop role playing games. I am also directing this conversation and opening up to video games in general, because me and my friends play a good amount of video games, and toxicity is definitely toxicity and elitism is definitely more prevalent in video games than it is in D&D. But I'm not saying that it isn't present in D&D, because it is. It's a real thing, and we're going to talk about it. So really, to me, at the heart of elitism is the number one symptom of it is the lack of tolerance for new players. So you've got this person coming in, they clearly don't know what the hell they're doing, and you're just calling them an idiot and not only stealing their chance at having fun to play a great game, but you're also coming off looking like an ass, okay? Um, and if you're that person that decides to be toxic about it and call them names and just generally be very mean, I just want it clear that that is elitism still in its very nature. They're both connected. Um, I think that people forget that the whole point of gaming in general is to have fun. That is the entire point. And I think that the point gets lost. And I think that's where a lot of the challenges of this come from. Um, but it's like, dude, if all you have to do is put a sticky note on your monitor that says, "We're all here to have fun, dude, chill out," like, do it, because it's pointless being mean to somebody just because they're new at a game. Um, so let's say you're playing a game and you're annoyed with the noobs, noobs being the slang term for beginners. Um, why don't you just take a minute to inform them? Not be mean to them by informing them, but to just say, "Oh, hey, well, you can do it this way, or that's where this item is, or here's where you can find that set of rules." Like, why not put that in place of the mean things you were gonna say? They both take the same amount of time and space to do. but the energy in 5 is completely different. I think we need to use that more. Um, I recently got into World of Warcraft, and I feel like I've been fairly lucky at finding people who weren't assholes who would show me what to do and how to do it. But there are definitely really mean and cruel people out there, and I have left that game halfway to tears because I am a sensitive person. Like, if I not only am I a sensitive person, but I'm a perfectionist. So if I don't feel like I'm doing something well, oh God, I can't deal with it. So I would leave the game just in tears, and then would be like, well, what's the point of the game? But I digress. That being said, yes, help noobs out. But noobs also have a responsibility here, okay? Um, it's a two-way street. It always is. Always is. There's two sides. You need to take at least, Jesus Christ, at least 30 minutes out of your day before you play the game to learn it first. Read a book, read a guide on the internet. There's endless amounts of guides and builds and different walkthroughs that you can do for a game. And then please just complete the tutorials or, if applicable, a campaign. Because you are responsible for that. You can't see, elitism and toxicity is never going to fully go away. It never is. The best way to protect yourself is to go in with a little bit of knowledge of the game so you're not automatically victimized by it. Like, don't let yourself be a victim. Educate yourself. Because you're not always going to get that really nice person who's going to show you how to do like the strategic things in a game. It's just not realistic. So you need to do your part in that, because elitism is not going away. It's just not. So I'm just gonna harp on this because it is so important. If you see someone struggling, give them pointers. Be that guy, not that guy. You see what I'm saying? This is relevant to video games and to tabletop role-playing games. If somebody is less familiar with the rules, but, well, let's just give an example. Let's say somebody's building a paladin for the first time, but they've never played a paladin. They don't know the ins and outs of the build of a paladin, right? And they start making what, in your assessment, are stupid mistakes. Don't just ignore it, and don't be mean about it. Give them pages in the book, or give them pointers or advice. Like, give them that. That is the most constructive thing that you can do for a person. And I feel like if everybody takes the whole 2 seconds it takes to do things like this versus the same 2 seconds it takes to be an asshole, the world would be a better place. And let's be realistic, okay? Let's say you know enough about a game and you're the expert, you're like top tier, number one, amazing. Like, why be rude to people when you could be building yourself a business model for coaching? Like, why does it have to be so negative? Why can't we turn it into something better? Because people seek out coaches for games. And you would be surprised how many people would be willing to coach you for free. For anything. Like, you come to this channel, you want to learn Dungeons and Dragons, you want to learn Vampire the Masquerade, hit us up. We will help you out. We will get you in the right direction, to the best of our abilities. Because, like I said, we're only familiar with 5e at this point in time. But we are expanding to different versions and new games as we speak, so our knowledge will only increase. So hit us up. If you want free advice on games and how to play them, what the rules are and what they mean, hit us up. We're here for you. Um, because we are building a community here at Robo Players that it's not about being perfect. It's not about knowing everything. It's about everybody coming together, having fun, and defeating the evil thing that is toxicity and elitism. Like killing it. I'm like so over it. And I want to hit you guys with some truth right now. Noobs slash beginners are amazing for businesses. Um, they are. They bring in more revenue by purchasing the products and coming in and playing the game. So they need to enjoy the game to invest in the game, right? Why are you going to pay for something that you're not having any fun in because people are being assholes? Why? It doesn't make any sense. So let's take World of Warcraft for example on this one. I feel that it is a hard game to learn, and it's been around for so long that there's a lot to learn. Um, but here's the thing: if you're having fun, you're gonna keep paying that subscription price. You're gonna keep buying all the expansions. That is good for Blizzard Entertainment. They want to make the money from you. And if you're a veteran player, that is where the expansions come from. That is where the new content is coming from. A business is not going to invest in something that's not making any money. The noobs that people claim to hate or be toxic to, they're the ones that are enabling you to play the game and have it expand. And this goes out to things like Dungeons and Dragons, which I think is bigger than it's ever been. But like I said, if nobody wants to teach the noobs how to play, nobody's going to get entertained enough. No new source books are going to come out. No new updates are going to come out. No streams and entertainment is going to be made. Like, it's imperative. Like, noobs are just a part of the reality of gaming. And I think people need to think about that before they call someone an idiot just because they don't know the right direction through a dungeon, or they don't know exactly how a spell works in Dungeons and Dragons. So if you're playing, let's start with one section of this first. If you're playing a video game and somebody's being really toxic to you in the chat, report them. And if the game has the capability, ban them. Like, just don't waste your fucking time arguing with them. Just don't do it. If somebody is fucking with you in game in a tabletop game, you can either be assertive, but then you run the risk of creating drama during a game, and as we all know, games are not the time for drama. So what I would just drop that beef, let it be for right now, and then at the end of the game talk to your DM about possible solutions. But it does need to be addressed. Don't sweep it under the rug because you're a human being and you deserve to be treated better than that. But don't let people get away with being jerks, okay? Don't let them get away with it. That's why it's so prevalent. All right. So, the next thing, like I said, this is going to be kind of disjointed because I literally bullet points, and I'm looking at them right now. Bullet points, and I tried to make as much sense of them as I could. I tried, I promise, but they are still a little disjointed. So I'm going to move on to the girl gamer stereotype. We all know what stereotype it is, and it's that females tend to have a reputation for playing with their tits out. And I'm not going to say that that does not happen, because surely it does. But it does not make them any less of gamers or any less interested in the games that they are playing. They are still valid human beings, and god damn it, they're allowed to take their tits out if they wish, okay? Don't be a judgmental asshole. Because I would guarantee you that if men had that kind of appeal, it would happen on that side too. I guarantee it. And maybe it does happen, I just haven't seen it. It's just, you know. The whole stereotype that girl gamers don't really exist and that they do it just for attention, it bothers me. Um, as a female, it would bother me, right? But I know that I am not the only female out there who feels such things. So do not just sit there and assume things about women who play games. You know nothing about them or what their interests truly are. Um, and girls are allowed to play Call of Duty, okay? They just are. I'm going to leave it at that. Girls can play Call of Duty. Um, the next thing. So, this I feel like is more on a competitive gaming level. And you can relate that to elitism however you want, but I'm going to explain it this way. There's good gear, bad gear for gaming in terms of like computer, like how many frames per second your computer can do. Um, it can be elitist and limiting. You can't buy a $5,000 Alienware computer for gaming if you're making $10 an hour. It's just not realistic. And it's in when you think about it in those terms, it's elitist and it's limiting. And I know there are people out there who are going to give the whole "we have equal opportunity to make all this kind of money," blah blah blah. I don't care. I'm so American and so over that argument that I can't even begin to explain it to you. um, but do not hate anybody for what they are rocking for their gaming experience. And I'm a streamer very recently, and as you can tell, my overlays not that cute, but I did them myself, and I'm not all about it has to be perfect for people to respect me and what I do. I believe in the content that Rebel Role Players makes, and if people are gonna hate on it, they're gonna hate on it because they're elitist jerks. They think that every game played, every tabletop role playing game played needs to be at the caliber of Critical Role, and that is completely inaccurate. Critical Role has been around for years, and they have tons. Well, I can't speak to how much money they actually have, but they have a lot more support than small streams that you find on Twitch. Um, sorry about that. So it can't always be on that caliber. You can't expect it to be. It's not realistic, and that frame of thinking is what gets us into trouble in the first place. Okay, sorry. I'm getting worked up because this is a topic that I'm very passionate about, so I apologize. Sometimes I just need to be like, and here we go. I'm kind of sad that the chat is empty right now because I've just been going on for almost 30 minutes and I'm kind of like, wow, time is flying. I think that the next point I've got is there is an end game to every game, tabletop or video game. There is an end game, but that is not everyone's game. Some people just want to play for the experience of it all. They just want to go hit and kill things. Like, that's what they find fun. That is their game. Or they just want to complete the campaign and call it good. Finish the storylines and call it good. And that doesn't make them wrong. It just makes them different. We all have a different play style, and being a casual player is not a bad thing. And people kind of make it out to be like, oh, well, you're not dedicated enough. We need to stop that thinking as well. It's not fair. People have jobs, families, things they have to do, and everybody's life is framed just a little bit differently. So if you have 9 hours a day to plan your campaign or play Diablo 3 or study a new module, like whatever it is, then more power to you. There is nothing wrong about that. And it is also elitist to judge people for that because everybody's life is completely different. But it can't go both ways. Don't judge people on spending too much time on something, and don't judge people on spending too little of time on something. Everybody has their own scale of what they do, and I think that we spend too much time judging people by how much time they put in. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make one person better than the other. Um, Casuals are fully allowed, and I feel like that gets lost in World of Warcraft a lot. Casuals, they exist and they're allowed to be there. Okay? They may not know all the bosses perfectly, but they're here to have fun, and so should you be. Alright, I digress. I kind of talked about this a little bit already, but I am going to say it again. If you want help learning how to play D&D or Vampire the Masquerade, I encourage you to reach out to me through a whisper or a DM, whatever. I will hook you up. I will give you the knowledge that I have. I also encourage you to watch streams and inform yourself on how the game works before you jump into it. Um, Another great place is the forums, because you're never going to completely solve toxicity and elitism in gaming, but you need to do your part and learn the game as well as you can before you just hop in and be like, okay, blah, 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 and then get mad because you're in a dungeon and you don't know how to run it. Which, by the way, if you find yourself in that position, you're in a dungeon, you don't know how to run it, let your group know. Don't be that person who dies 20 times, because that's also not okay. It's not okay for them to be mean about it, but it's not okay for you to be that person, okay? Inform yourself. You have that responsibility. And Dungeons and Dragons, now, I don't know exactly what year that it was created. I think it was in the 70s, late 70s. That is an old ass game. You cannot expect everybody to know every single rule in that game, especially over the years. Like, you just, it's unfathomable. And on the same token, like, that's an incredible amount of lore for any given realm that you may be hopping into. Like, that's an incredible amount of material to get through and know. So don't expect somebody to catch up to 30 plus years of content in 6 months or a year. Like, it's impossible, quite frankly. And um, another thing, and I'm harping on World of Warcraft because I play it a lot and I experience so much toxicity. It's ridiculous. So that's forgive me if that's usually my main example, but that game's also been around since like 2004. And so if you've never played before, you don't know the mechanics, you don't know how this shit works. You could be reading a guide on Icy Veins, but you may not understand what those things mean until you play the game, right? So you've done your part, you've studied up, and you've done your best to know the game before you hop in, but you're still a beginner and you still have things to learn. So, my best advice is, like I said, you can't completely get rid of elitism or toxicity, but my best advice is to be honest with the people you play. Um, Reach out and be like, oh, hey, can somebody help me with this? There are people who are kind and helpful, and I have been blessed by the World of Warcraft gods to have met a lot of them in my journeys. And it's unfortunate that I did not have these people when I was trying to learn Dungeons and Dragons. And I have to say that even now I'm a little resentful of it. Having learned the game by myself, I see no reason for that elitism to be present. I just don't see it. To me, it's an accessible game, and it should be. Um, all games should be accessible, right? Otherwise, the companies wouldn't be making any money. So where this dissension is coming from is it's very bizarre, and I think that a lot of it has to do with our social construct as a society, but that is a much larger conversation that does not really belong in this topic or on this channel. But people take things for granted. Like, they like to assume that people have played as long as the game has been out, and it's just, you can't make that assumption about people. So I did my best to find arguments for elitism, and there was a few videos that I watched that none of which really addressed my question at all. And if there are better ones, let me know. But some of the things that came up for me were it's not meant to be fun, it's meant to be challenging. I don't see why it can't be both. A lot of people find it fun to be challenged by a game. And if it's not fun to be challenged by a game, but you're pushing through it anyway, I'm not really sure the what the point of that is. Um, but that's your own damn decision, and it's no reason to take it out on anybody else. So bullshit on that one. The second is we worked hard to be the best of the best, and no one is taking that away from you. I promise you, no one is gonna take that away from you. You want the top 10 spot uh, in the leaderboards? Congratulations, you're amazing. You put in your work. You deserve that recognition. Still doesn't give you the right to be an asshole, though, does it? Not really. It's kind of like the whole thing, like rich versus the poor. Uh, Rich people have more of an opportunity than poor people to do things. And in America, you can argue that everybody has the same opportunities, no matter who you are, the race, color, whatever of your skin. Again, another social construct we're not going to get into here. But the bottom line is that we are all human beings. We all have different resources to draw from, and we all have different experiences. And like it or not, elitism is political. It's bullshit, and it has no place in gaming. It needs to go. It needs to go. So you worked hard, great, good for you. You deserve it. But the person you're hating on and being mean to doesn't deserve that. So both ways. That's pretty much what I could find. Um, and so I say good luck finding genuine arguments for why elitism is positive in gaming, because I couldn't really find any. I don't think there really are any good arguments for being a dick on the internet. I'm just saying. Though, if you do find strong, compelling arguments to argue the point that elitism is healthy for gaming, I would love to see it. Like, thank you for the follow, holla. I would love to see it. So, I just spent 30 minutes talking about elitism in gaming, and I was hoping for a little more discussion from the chat, but that's okay. The point is I want to see both sides, because I just ranted about one side, okay? But there's always two sides. I just have been unlucky in finding that other side, and maybe I have not put enough effort into it. But at this stage in the game, the stream is almost over, and I don't give a fuck, okay? So let's go over the basic points. I've seen a lot of people, oh gosh, I've seen a lot of people in and out um, from the stream. So I'm just gonna go over my bullet points real quick, because the likelihood of you going back and rewatching me just talk for fucking 45 minutes is unlikely. So I first talked about my D&D elitism story. That was the reason this channel exists in the first place. If you really want to know about that, whisper and I will tell you all about it. And I wanted to say that elitism is not just limited to video games. It also includes tabletop role-playing games. They are not immune. And to me, toxicity is elitism. They are the same thing to me. And is usually apparent in a lack of tolerance for new players. We're all here to have a good time. And I said new players need to do their homework before they hop into a game, not only to protect themselves, but it's just the right thing to do. Do your homework, read a website, read a guide on builds. I don't know. Finish the campaign before you go into competitive mode. Do things like that. And as for people who are tempted to be toxic to somebody, use your knowledge for good. If you don't want to give it away for free, whatever. You should, but whatever. Then I don't know, charge people for it. Don't be a dick. Like if being a noob is that big of a problem to you, coach people, make a living after. Like build it into something more positive because putting negative energy into the universe does nothing for anybody. So you see somebody struggling in a dungeon or in a class if you're playing D&D, give them pointers. Be that person, okay? Be that person. Because we are trying to build a community. That's what Rebel Roleplay is. It's a community with a mission to eradicate elitism. Because anybody can play D&D. Anybody can play World of Warcraft. And goddamn anybody who tries to tell us anyway. Okay? Like as you can see, stream. Totally DIY, nothing fancy. I don't give a fuck. I'm just trying to get my point across and spread my love of games with like-minded people. That is my goal. I don't care if it looks pretty or not. If I get like shit, if you guys start tipping me like crazy, then I will invest in some awesome ass overlays. But until that happens, fuck it. I'm gonna do me. The other thing was that noobs are good for business. Without beginner players, the platforms that you enjoy would not be supporting more new content. That's just capitalism, okay? Thank the noobs because they are the ones making sure patch updates happen. They're the ones making sure expansions happen. They're the ones making sure that new modules are being made for D&D. That is what the reality is. So don't be mean to them. Welcome them into the community. The other thing was girl gamer stereotypes. I'm not going to go into that again because that one, I can't. Let girls do what they do. They're allowed to play games. That's all I'm going to say. Realizing that everyone's end game is not everyone's game. The other one is a reminder that it's hard to catch up on a game that's 15 plus years old, and Dungeons and Dragons is surely much older than that. So cut people some slack, right? That was pretty much the big bullet points, and that was all I wanted to say. Honestly, I didn't think that this chat was going to last this long, so if you've hung in there the whole time, you're kind of amazing, because I didn't realize I had that much to say about it. But I really do need to run because I have plans with the girls in like 15 minutes. So, anyway, if you support any of what I said, give me a fucking follow because I have more to say, this channel has more to say, and a follow represents that you want a change in the current gaming community for the better. We are coming off of our hiatus starting December, so expect a lot more content, and I will try to stream at least 4 days a week for you. And next Casual Friday, I don't know what I'm going to talk about, actually, at this point in time. I need to figure it out by Sunday. If you have any ideas about what you want to see a Casual Friday topic be, please let me know. I need the ideas. This one was just a long waited because I knew it was going to be long. So, topics. It could be video games. It could be D&D. It could be Vampire the Masquerade. Or fuck, it could be Shadowrun. I don't know anything about Shadowrun yet, but I have the book. So I will make it happen. It could be about book club. We have a book club. It could be whatever you want. So hit me with the ideas. If the stream is offline, then whisper them to me. I would love to have more ideas. So I guess it's time to leave you guys. Again, thank you for the follows. Thanks for anybody who tuned in. You are so appreciated in my heart. Because you're getting us one step closer to being an affiliate. And I appreciate you and I love you. And I will be back on Sunday for the week ahead chat where we will just talk some more about bullshit about this channel. Alright. Thanks, guys.